Hi, everyone, and welcome to Indie Strong. I am your host, Amazon bestselling author and award-winning author, Jennifer McMurrain, and this is episode 11. I know, 11, yay. Thank you so much for turning into Facebook, or if you're turning in tomorrow on YouTube, I really do appreciate it. And if you like these little videos, please feel free to hit the like or the love or the happy face or the laughy face if I make you giggle. Or if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and subscribe. That way you never miss an episode. So I just wanted to throw all that stuff out there, get the bookwork out of the way before we get started, because I have lots and lots of things to say today. So it really does take a village. So if you share these videos, I would really, really appreciate that as well. Tomorrow it should be all up on the YouTubies. And of course it will be up on Facebook as soon as I'm done. It usually just takes it a few minutes for it to do whatever it has to do for you to be able to share it. So I would really appreciate that if you would do that. It takes a village, and you guys are part of mine, and I am so, so thankful for that. It's a really great village to live in. So you might be asking yourself, hey Jen, why the blatant brag at the beginning of the show? That's not how you usually start your episodes, but there was a point to that, and I will get to it. But first I want to tell you about my weekend. So Saturday, my daughter and I went to Nowata, which is about 20 miles from here, and we had the most amazing experience. Not only did we get to spend time with each other, but we got to see the 1944 steam locomotive Big Boy, which is the largest steam locomotive in the world. I keep saying locomotive like that's like it's not coming out of my mouth right, but I know that's right. It's another trope, guys. News at 5, Jennifer can't talk. But anyway, steam locomotive, we had such a wonderful time. Now, I knew this thing was huge. Thanks, Ravina. I knew this thing was huge. I was not expecting it to be as ginormous, that is a word, as it is. I mean, it was phenomenal. I almost cried. Yes, I'm one of those people, when there's an amazing moment, I get teary-eyed. The first time I saw a whale in the wild, I was all like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. And yeah, I cried then. I cried when my children have their first, when Noah saunters across the room, which I'm sure he will at any moment. I'm bound to break out in tears, I'm sure. I really get caught up in the emotion. And that's what I want to talk about, is the fact that it is okay to get out there and have these experiences and live these emotions. Because as writers, yeah, it's important for us to be in this chair and our hands on the keyboard and typing away and getting those words. But we also have to have those experiences. Now, I don't know if this Big Boy locomotive will ever make it into one of my novels, because I don't know the history of it well enough to know that right now. But what I do know is that experience of watching that train pull into the station and hearing that whistle, oh my goodness, it was so loud. You could hear it for miles. Hearing that whistle and seeing that steam and just being around all those other people and the energy and the excitement, those are all things that I can pull from when I'm writing. So yeah, it's nano. You've got a word count. You've got goals. It is an extreme goal to try to meet. You're doing your best, and here we are at the last half of it. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to go out there and have these experiences, because it will make your writing easier in the long run. You'll have that whole pool of emotions to draw from. So make sure to have those experiences. Yeah, we write, we love our writing time, but make sure that you get outside too. So plus vitamin D is good for you. So anyway, it's just one of those things. And and the whole time the train was an hour late, and the whole time I'm standing there with my daughter, and I loved my time with her. We very seldom get time with just the two of us anymore. But the train whistle definitely would have hurt baby bear's ears, because it was super loud. But the whole time I was thinking, oh, I could be writing so many words, and I'm so behind, and my stories are calling to me, and I'm just thinking, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Well, I'm so glad I stayed. I mean, I almost didn't, but I got to talk to some amazing people who are also waiting. When everybody's kind of waiting for something to happen, we all kind of become besties as we're waiting there for the train to pull in. like I said, it was phenomenal. There are some videos here on my Facebook of the train pulling in and pulling out of the whistle. And so if you have no idea what I'm talking about with this big boy steam locomotive, go to my page and look at those videos because they're pretty awesome. So why was I bragging earlier? So let's get to that, I guess. So it brings me to my first question. Let's get to the questions. Enough rambling on about the train, but get those emotions, get those experiences. Okay. All right, so the questions. I feel so weird. Question 1. I feel so weird when I promote my novels. It's like I'm bragging. I don't want to brag, but I do want to get the word out. How do I find the balance? This is from Tanya in Kansas. So believe it or not, Tanya, you are not alone. I have been to many book signings with multiple authors. We're sharing a table or whatever, and I see authors who talk about their books for just a second, and then they gradually kind of lean or pull the reader over to another book, usually mine or somebody else's. But in my experience, it's been mine because I'm telling you about my experience. Come on. All right. So, and I've always been like, why? I mean, yes, I want to sell books, and yes, I'm thankful for that person to guide readers in my direction, but I also want them to sell books. I mean, I share tables with people that I genuinely like, and I genuinely like their writing, so I want us all to be successful. And so I asked my friends one time, I said, why do you do that? Here these people were looking at your book, and you had them hooked, and then you guided them over to mine, and then they ended up buying mine. Why? And she goes, I feel so gross when I brag. And I'm all like, you're not bragging. Okay, so it's okay. There's a balance to being humble and to promoting your book. There's definitely a balance to that. But it is okay to be proud of what you've accomplished. It is okay to be like, I wrote a book. I finished my rough draft. Oh, yes. Put that online. Celebrate that fact that you're not bragging. You're proud of an accomplishment. And in today's age, Facebook or social media is the way that we tell people how proud we are of each other, how proud we are of ourselves. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So go to those rooftops and I think the heart thing is stuck. Either that or you guys just really loved what I just said. But go to the rooftops, scream that you have a new book, be proud of that fact. You're not being rude. It's okay to be humble, kind, and proud. It's okay to say, yes, look at what I did, and to really embrace that. Now, if you start to interject it into like every single conversation, then you might want to kind of pull back from that. If people aren't, if everybody's talking politics and you're like, oh, by the way, I have a new romance book coming out. That's a little bit of a stretch. That's a little bit of, totally off topic. But, it's okay. I'm trying to look to see where I was at because I had a really good point. Oh, yes, it's okay to blow in your own train whistle. It was going all the way back to that train thing. See, gosh, that would have been really great if I would have pulled it off without having to look at my notes, right? Oh, see, I have so much to tell you guys that my brain just gets like full of all this stuff. It's like, oh, you have to tell them this and you have to tell them that. And I get so excited for it that it all tries to funnel out of my mouth. But, there's just this tiny spot. And so I get all jimble-jambly sometimes. But that's okay, because if I was always elegant, then when I spoke, then it wouldn't be realistic. Now, would it? If I practiced these notes, for like hours and hours and hours, you would kind of miss my personality, I think, a little bit. At least I hope so. You keep tuning in, so maybe. I don't know. Oh, I'm your fan too. I'm going to say her name wrong. Undaya. I know she has corrected me many times, and I'm super embarrassed that I can never say her name right. But Miss Hoya, yes. I'm a fan of yours. So anyway, toot your own horn, blow your own whistle. You don't have to tell somebody about it every second of every day. But if it comes up at a dinner party, hey, I heard you wrote a book, then tell people about that book. Smile, be proud. If you have, won a record number of awards in a certain contest, it's okay to be like, I am so proud of this achievement, as long as you're a gracious winner as well as a gracious loser. And don't be don't be, I'm sorry, I was looking at this tooteth its own horn, so I can't say that word. Glenn was giving me a quote, and a lot of our mothers did tell us, don't toot your own horn. Somebody else will toot it for you. And unfortunately, as an independent author, you cannot. You cannot wait for somebody else to toot your own horn. You got to lay on that whistle. You got to let it blow loud where it can be heard from miles, just like Big Boy did. If you won an award, tell people, tell the internet. You're not going to make the people who lost sad. They're going to be disappointed anyway. You're not adding to that. And from what I've learned in this community, that most of the writers who lose, we're happy to see you win. We'll be gracious losers and be like, good job. That was good. That has been my experience. That most other writers are like, you know what, I really stinks that I didn't win, but I'm so happy you did. So don't be afraid to put that online. Every year around April and May, there are 2 contests that locally we do here in Oklahoma and in Bartlesville. And every year I have to really tell people, tell us that you won. Let us celebrate with you. Some of us are crying in our coffee cups, and that's fine. We can cry and be happy for you at the same time. It doesn't have to be a this or that. So yes, you have to promote your own books. You don't have to beat us over the head with it, but you do have to say, hey, look, I had this book and I'm proud of it. And it's okay. It's okay to be humble. It's okay to be kind. And it's okay to be proud. And I think we have to learn. Thank you, Ruby, I tried. We have to learn to embrace all of that. We have to learn to stand tall and be like, look, I'm proud of myself and I don't have to wait for somebody else to say it. And I'm going to go, especially with women, sometimes we need to stand up and say, I'm proud of myself and not wait for somebody else to say it. I was just talking to my husband the other day. We were having a discussion about housekeeping. I am not the best housekeeper. I have admitted that many times. And we were just talking about that. And I had done a bunch of work while he was in Alaska, and he didn't really mention it. And it kind of hurt my feelings. And he's just not that guy. He's not the guy that's going to be like, oh, I saw you mop the floor. Yeah, you. He's just like, it looks good, but he doesn't think to verbalize it, where I'm the kind of person who needs to hear it. So anyway, it was, I'm always waiting for him to say, good job, Jennifer. Good job. You mopped the floor. And I have to really embrace saying, you know what? Good job, Jennifer. I mopped the floor, because I don't like mopping. Who likes mopping? If you like mopping, I've got plenty that you can mop. Plenty. So just come see me. Okay. So anyway, don't be afraid to say, even if it's a little mop the floor, or if it's a big, I published a book. Don't be afraid to say, yes, I did that and I'm proud of it. I did this thing I love, and I think you'll love it too. Okay. All right. So hard work should be celebrated. That's what I'm looking for. Hard work should be celebrated. Don't be afraid to celebrate yourself. I think far too many of us are waiting for somebody else to throw us a party, when it's really okay to throw yourself a party. Not like a whole year long party, but just a party. Just have fun, have a party. Okay. Moving on. Here we go to question number 2. I write picture books and I'm considering going the indie route. Advice. This is from Karen in New Mexico. Okay, Karen, I'm going to be really, really honest with you, and this may be kind of hard to hear, but this question is personal to me because my mom writes children's books. She writes picture books, and they're amazing. She's won awards for them, but she hasn't found a market for them yet. I'm going to tell you the exact same advice that I tell my mom when it comes to picture books. Go traditional. The thing, picture books are a completely and totally different ball game. As a parent of 2 littles, I can tell you that when I'm picking up a book for them, I want to hold it. I want to open it. I want to see the vibrant colors of the illustrations. I want to see how much text is on that, how much text is on each page, so that I know whether it's a baby bear book and I can read it in 2 minutes, or if it's a kiddo book and we're going to need 5 to 10 minutes. So I want to hold it. I want a hardback book, something that is durable, so that during story time, when they go crazy, as sometimes they do before bed, I'm not worried about this book getting bent and, torn. So you always kind of want something durable. As a parent, so I'm talking as a parent right now. So as a writer, as an editor, you really want to go traditional so that you have somebody who can, A, help you cover the cost of illustrators, because you want a great illustrator. Just like cover design is crucial for adult books, illustrations are crucial for children's books. So you really want to make sure that you have a stellar illustrator that's really going to convey your message in their pictures. Somebody that you can work well with and who can work on a deadline. That stuff is not cheap. Good illustrators are not cheap, just like good cover designers are not always cheap, but it's worth paying for. Also, you want a traditional publisher so that they can get you in libraries and traditional bookstores, because that is where us parents are going to find these books. And if I go to the library and I pick up a book and I love it for my children, most likely I'm going to go and buy it. But if I've never seen a book and I'm just cruising around on Amazon, I'm going to have a hard time buying that book unless it has a stellar reputation. And that's really hard for us indie authors to get, especially when we're coming right out of the gate. It's going to have a lot of great reviews. It's going to have a lot of, because I don't want to waste my kids' time with a book that none of us like, even if it's just, a little picture book. So, so you want a traditional publisher to help you get into school libraries as well. You want that big guy pushing you. Now, it can be done. It can be. I'm giving you the advice that is not a route that I would go. I would totally go traditional if I was doing picture books, 100%. It can be done. You'll have a harder time, though. Like I said, you'll have to personally contact libraries, school libraries, and bookstores to see if they will allow you to visit. And if you are able to get into those school libraries or libraries for story time, then you have to figure out a way to try to sell your book without selling your book like the rest of us do online. His name just went right out of my brain. He wrote The Brave Journey. And anyway, I want to say Thomas Knapp. That may not be right, though. But he came to my daughter's school, I think it was last year. And before he even came, he sent a order form home where you could get all 6 books in his Brave Journey series for like $35. And they were hardback books. And that, I was like, sign me up. Of course, they were middle grade readers. They weren't picture books. But I was like, sign me up. 6 hardback books for $35. I'm sold. Maybe I'll use them as a, doorstop if they're not good. They are good. But, what I'm saying is he found a way to get parents to buy because he gave them a really great deal. And he signed each and every one of those books to the kiddo. So it was really a good deal. So if you're going to go in indie, then you definitely have to do something like that. You have to get into school libraries. You have to get into, thank you, Jefferson Knapp. Thank you, Mom. See, I knew she would know, or she Googled it. Either way, I appreciate it. I knew it was something Knapp, but Jefferson Knapp, and they're really, really good. We've read the first one in the series. We're going to read the second one. We've gotten a little off track from them, but they are good. I highly recommend them. But he was really good about getting the word out before and saying, hey, I'll give you signed copies, and I'm going to give you this really good deal. But he has to work really hard at it. And I know my friend Meg Denchler, she has talked to him, so she knows how hard he's working at it. And she also writes really great children's books. Bianca, the Frail and Delicate Princess, I think it's Bianca, the Frail and Delicate something princess, but it is also really good. But again, these are like middle grade readers. So, but they independently published them. Now they have to contact schools and try to get in, and then they have to figure out a way to get parents to buy through the school. So same thing with the library story time. You have to contact the librarians, the youth librarians, see if they'll let you do a story time and see if they'll let you either sign books or hand out order forms for those books. You have to contact the bookstores to see if they have story time, see if they have book signings. It is a lot of work. You have to constantly be doing book signings with picture books if you want to make it as an independent author. And a lot of times those books are more expensive to print because they're A, they're color, and B, a lot of times people get the hardback because parents want the hardback. So if you can find a traditional publisher to back you, to help you with that, then that is best. As I always said, if you're going to go traditional, you go with your dream agent first, and then you work your way down. Smaller presses can help you cover that cost, but a lot of times all that selling, all that footwork is still on you to go to the libraries and the schools and the bookstores. But they can help you cover the cost, so that is a perk. But sometimes you lose some creative control, so you have to kind of weigh those. So yes, it can be done. But my advice stands firm. When you're doing a picture book, find a traditional publisher to help you with it. And aim high, go for that big 6, because there's no reason that your book can't be the one that they fall in love with. I mean, you had to have a bit of optimism to be in this industry. You have to have that hope that, oh, I'm going to find it. You know, Penguin's going to pick it up. Scholastic's going to pick it up, and it's going to be in all the book fairs, and Jennifer's going to go buy it because she buys all the things at all the book fairs. I really do. I'm a sucker for a book fair. But there's no reason that can't be you. You have just as good of a chance as everybody else of getting your picture book published by a big 6 as anybody else. Well, unless you're a celebrity. If you're a celebrity, you have the inside track and you could write poop on a stick and it would probably be published by somebody because you're a celebrity. It's not fair, but it is what it is. And I guess I'm just kind of annoyed because I keep seeing these celebrities coming out with picture books, and I'm just like, really? Because it's not hard enough on the rest of us. You already have fame. Why are you writing a picture book? Yeah. No, just kidding. Some of them are really good. But yeah, I am a tad bit jealous. I'll just say it. I'll say it. Okay, aren't we all? Anyway, that is how I feel about picture books. And like I said, my mom writes some really great ones, and I would love nothing more than to help her, get the illustrations done and put them out there. But I know we would have a serious uphill battle trying to get those into the hands of children because parents are picky. We're picky. Okay, going on to question number 3. This one is from Brandy in Oklahoma. Brandy with an I in Oklahoma. And how did you get started writing? Well, not to brag, but my first publication was back in 1982-83. Yes, I am that old. It was picked up by the Parkside Elementary Publishers, and it was a how-to article on how to make fried chicken. Pretty sure it was co-written with my mom since I was in kindergarten. So basically in kindergarten, we did a cookbook, and everybody was included. That's my first publication. I would love to show it to you because I still have it, but it's in the room where Baby Bear's asleep, and I forgot to get it out earlier. So I'll show it to you another time, but I do still have it. It's super cute. I'm pretty sure it was fried chicken. It might have been peanut butter and jelly, but let me tell you, it's one of the finest pieces of work I have done. I'm just saying. Anyway, digress a little bit, but I've always been a storyteller. Absolutely always been a storyteller. Even when I wasn't writing them down, I was telling stories in my play. In 2nd grade, I asked for a typewriter, got that typewriter, typed. A ghost, I think, typed on that typewriter. That's a story for another time. But seriously, okay, I got to tell you. I have to tell you the story now, don't I? So we lived in this house out in the country, and I swear it was haunted. And my mom lived in this house when she was younger as well. So she lived in the house twice, if that makes sense, as a young parent of all these kiddos, and then of when she was a teenager, I believe. And so definitely, and I shared some of my stories with my aunts, and they had the same experiences. So yeah, I believe it was haunted. Anyway, my sisters and I slept upstairs. There were 2 rooms. I shared a room with my sister, Anna, and then my older sister, Brandy, had her own room. And I'm telling you, 90% of the time, Anna wanted to go sleep with Brandy because she was scared in our room. I'm just saying. But I was the brave one. So one night, Anna is sleeping with me because my grandparents are visiting from Wyoming. And there is this huge crash in the middle of the night. My grandpa, Elmer, who is somebody that I never wanted to get in trouble with, even though he was a sweet man, I was always a tad bit intimidated by him. He came kind of bustling into the room and he was like, "What is that? What was that?" He thought we were playing. I was just like, I had my typewriter on this little foldable table, kind of like a TV tray, but even less sturdy. And I said, Grandpa, I'm pretty sure that was my typewriter. The table fell. And he was like, okay. And he went back to bed. I mean, he's the type of guy that went to bed with the sun and got up with the sun. So being awoke in the middle of the night by a crash was not his idea of fun. But here's the thing. The next morning, I get up fully expecting to see my typewriter and the folding table like on the floor, shattered. It was upright, you guys. I know. I got goosebumps. You can't see them, but I totally have goosebumps right now because it was the craziest thing. We looked all around. Anna and I both heard it. Grandpa heard it. We looked all around that room for something that had fallen, didn't find it. And then it was just a few months later. I was sleeping alone because Anna had gone to sleep with Brandy because she was scared in our room. And this little boy was at the edge of my bed. And he was dressed in these old-fashioned clothes. I've got goosebumps. Can you see that? Can you see my goosebumps? He was at the edge of the bed and he was dressed in these old-fashioned clothes. And I kind of woke up and I looked at him and I was like, I said, what are you doing here? And he just evaporated. So my mom was certain it was a dream. Well, I still have goosebumps. I'm telling you, it was not a dream. My mom was certain it was a dream. But then I told my aunts about that little boy and they had seen him too. Okay, where was I talking about? Typewriters? Okay, how I got started. So definitely life experiences is how I got started for sure. But yeah, I had the typewriter in the second grade, type. I remember playing Private Eye and just running around the yard and chasing the bad guys and making up stories as I go. In the fifth grade, I won my first short story contest and saw my name and my story in the little newspaper that the Darzet ISD had put out. So I was pretty much bit by that moment that I wanted to write, but you know, life gets in the way. And I tinkered here and there, and I didn't really finish anything, probably because I didn't outline. Just saying. I didn't finish anything. And then about 12 years ago, I was in between jobs. Long story. Not going to tell that one. It's not nearly as fun as the ghost story. I was in between jobs, and I met this man, and he asked me, well, if you didn't have to worry about bills, what would you do? And my answer to this question was always, well, I'd write. And he looked at me and he goes, then do it. Like it was the most natural thing in the world. Like there was no, like, that's a hefty goal. Good luck with that. Ha, ha, ha. Why don't you go work at the convenience store? You know, nothing. He was so confident in it that I couldn't help to be confident. And ladies and gentlemen, I married that man and I have not looked back. So that is when I really started to take it seriously. That's when I started to learn the art of writing a book. That is when I learned how to outline, just saying. And then 8 years ago, I decided to make it my career. And that is when we had, I about said baby girl because she was baby girl. And I wanted to be able to stay home with her, but I had never not had a job. So I needed some way to bring in some income. I know, writing, you know, when you first start out, you're not bringing in a lot of income, but it was something, and I have not looked back. And so I knew that if I was going to make it a career, I needed to do my homework. I needed to get my butt in the chair. I needed to put out books, and that is what I have done. So that is how I got started. In all honesty, my biggest influence has been watching my mom. And I've mentioned she's a writer too. And I watched her back when you had to go through the gatekeepers. You had to have somebody else tell you that your work was worthy. And I watched her get rejections. I watched her get disappointed. And then I watched her pick that pen back up and start again. And so she was by far my biggest inspiration and my biggest influencer. She had that candy spirit and the determination to keep that dream going, even when it was super duper hard to get published. And I've said this before, it's easy to get published now, hard to get noticed, but I'm going to help her get noticed today because I am honored to be able to help my mom see her dreams come true in publishing her own books. And she is coming out with a book next Tuesday. We're having like a mother-daughter release day, y'all. It's going to be so much fun. And the highly anticipated sequel to Katie McCory and the Dagger of Truth is coming out. Katie McCory and Destiny's Diamond. Okay, this little picture right here is not doing this cover justice, but I don't have a paperback on hand, or I would be showing you that because it is amazing. It is another gray cover done by my sister. We have a very talented family. Yes, I'm going to toot that horn. By my sister, Brandy Walker from Sister Sparrow Graphic Design. She does amazing work, you guys. Look at these covers. They're stunning. So anyway, we're having us a mother-daughter release day next Tuesday. So look for these books. They'll be available on Amazon for sure. So I spent all day yesterday getting that stuff together, getting it all up there and uploaded on the stuff, on the Kindle and everything else. Y'all, that's a lot. There's a lot of tinkering that goes on with when you upload a book. I'm just saying. A lot of people don't realize. They think you just click a few things and then it magically appears on Amazon. But something always goes wrong. And lately it's been a lot with the covers. So Amazon, if you're listening to me, Bezos, do we need to have a chat? Because you need to fix your whole cover upload thing for reals, for realsies. See, Mark and I had a chat about the comments and now I'm seeing them. So maybe I need to go have a talk with Bezos. I don't know. Maybe I have that much influence in the world. Anyway, oh gosh, my daughter, she saw that I was working on Mom's book last night, Katie McMurrain and Destiny's Diamond, and she just about wet her pants with excitement because she wanted to read it like right now. She was so surprised that I had it. She seems to forget that's part of my job is to edit and upload and tinker, but anyway, I told her she had to wait. That she had to wait just like everybody else did. No special treatments in this family, no nepotism. Actually, we're in the middle of another book and we really need to finish it first. Plus, we like to hold the book. We like to hold the book. But anyway, I'm sure her grandmother would not have minded if she got an advanced look at the book, but patience is a virtue. But if you want an advanced look at Autumn's Kiss, I'm giving away some ARC copies on my author Jennifer McMurrain page. So go there and you can check out how to get an advanced reader copy. So it's basically a beta book. It's almost finished. I've made quite a bit of changes between what I found and what one of my beta readers found, and I'm waiting on another beta book, a couple more beta books, and that thing is ready to go, you guys, and I'm so excited. It's so much fun. It is so much fun to read this again. And so anyway, go to author Jennifer McMurrain, sign yourself up to win an ebook ARC, which is an advanced reader copy, and get some recipes because I'm doing a recipe swap there. Look for Mom's book, CL Collar, coming out on Tuesday, next Tuesday, not tomorrow. Autumn's Kiss, coming out next Tuesday. That also happens to be Brandy's birthday. Happy birthday, Brandy. We're releasing books on your birthday. Now that's a gift. I'm proud of you too, Mom. So please go there. That's it for this week. I didn't even go over that much. Yay me, I'm getting better. Or not, I don't know. I just hope you guys have as much fun with these as I have doing them. I laugh at myself a lot because I know how goofy I am. And if you can't laugh at yourself, then who can you laugh at, honestly? So if you have a question for me for next week, I am planning on doing one of these next week, okay? My husband is getting a shot in the back of his neck next Monday morning. So I'm hoping by the time 10:30 rolls around that he'll either be in bed or he'll be fine. And so I am planning to do one of these on Monday. I'll let you know if I have to cancel it. But yeah, because I can't do it another day because it's Thanksgiving week. And I'm going to fill myself with some turkey and go out of town and see my family. So yeah, that's right. I just told the whole world I was going out of town on the internet. I did. I also have a state-of-the-art security system and a dog that will chew your leg off, maybe, or lick you. I don't really know at this point. Anyway, that's it for this week. If you have any questions, please PM me here on the Facebook at Jennifer McMurrain, or you can email your questions to jennifermcmurrain@gmail.com. Don't forget that all of my merch, including signed paperbacks, and you can pre-order a signed copy of Autumn's Kiss on my webpage, jennifermcmurrain.com, in the signed copies and gifts tab. Until Monday, remember, your stories matter. They do. They matter to me. If nobody else, they matter to me. Your stories matter. They deserve to be told. Happy writing and take care.